Welcome to 7th grade math. That was your homework that was due on Google Docs or Google Classroom. You ready for the lesson? A GPS or Global Positioning System is a small satellite-based navigation system. A GPS map of Raleigh, North Carolina is shown to the right. Suppose Mr. Diaz starts at Shaw University and drives 2 blocks north. Name the street he will cross. Shaw University is near the bottom left, and he is going to cross East Lenore, sorry. Using the words north, south, east, and west, write directions to go from Chavez Park to Moore Square. So Chavez Park is in the bottom right, and Moore Square is like left center, top. So we're going to drive west 3 blocks on East Lenore Street, and then we're going to drive 3 blocks north on S. Person Street, so maybe South Person Street. Scaffolding questions. Is Mexico north or south of the U.S.? So North America is on the left side of this map, and Mexico is south of the U.S. Is Senegal west or east of Mexico? Well, Senegal is there. So is that west or east of Mexico? It's east. What direction from Senegal is Spain? There's Spain. North. How would you give directions to go from Spain to Peru? Is Peru bottom leftish? Go west and south. How would you give directions to go from Peru to Spain? Go east and north. Makes sense. It's the opposite of how you go from Spain to Peru. Coordinate plane formed when 2 number lines intersect. So that's a coordinate plane, and 2 number lines intersect at 0. Quadrants, 4 regions of the coordinate plane. Quadrant 1, Quadrant 2, Quadrant 3, Quadrant 4. Notice we start with Quadrant 1, the top right corner, and then we go counterclockwise, 2, 3, 4. We have the x-axis, y-axis, the origin, point where x and y axis intersect at 0, 0. And there it is, 0, 0. Ordered pair of numbers used to locate a point on the coordinate plane. So if we try to find 3 and -2, 3 is on the x-coordinate number, which is a number on the x-axis, and y-coordinate number on the y-axis is what -2 is. So notice that we have 3 and -2 in quadrant 4. And what we did was we counted 3 to the right on the x-axis because it's a positive number, and positive x coordinates are to the right of 0. And then we went down 2 because we followed the y-axis down 2 because negative numbers on the y-axis are below 0. Moving right or up is in the positive. So positive is to the right of 0, and to the up above 0 is positive. And moving left or down is in the negative. So if we move left on the x-axis, that means the x is negative, or the first number, first coordinate. And if we move down, that means the y is negative, or the second coordinate. Naming points using ordered pairs. The first number of an ordered pair tells us how far to move right or left along the x-axis. The second number of an ordered pair tells us how far to move up or down along the y-axis. So write the ordered pair that corresponds to point D. Then state the quadrant in which the point is located. Start at the origin, or 0, 0. Move left on the x-axis to find the x-coordinates of point D, which is -4. So if we go over so that we line up D with the number on the x-axis, that's -4. And then if we move up to find the y-coordinate, which is 2. So if we then go up to D and look over to see what is equal on the, what number is on the y-coordinate or y-axis, that will be 2. So point D corresponds to the ordered pair -4 and 2. Which quadrant is point D in? Quadrant 2. Remember that we start with quadrant 1 in the top right corner, and then we go counterclockwise to quadrant 2, the top left corner. Check your progress. Write the ordered pair that corresponds to point point A, and then write the quadrant in which the point is located. So point A, if we look, we have to go to the left 3 spaces to line up A with the number on the x-axis, and then we have to go down 5 to line up A with the coordinate on the y-axis. So our coordinates for A is -3 for x and -5 for y. And we're in quadrant 3 because remember, if we start top right corner is quadrant 1, and we go counterclockwise, then quadrant 2, and then quadrant 3 is where A is. So B, we have to go right on the x-axis 3 places to line up point B, and then we have to go down 4 places to line up -4 on the y-coordinate. So we get 3 and -4, and that's going to be quadrant 4. So C, if we go 4 over to the right on the x-axis, and then we stay there because C is actually right on the x-axis. So that's going to make it 4 for x and 0 for y, because we didn't go up or down on the y-coordinate. We stayed right at 0. And that is the coordinate, or the quadrant is actually the x-axis. It's not in any quadrant. It's on the x-axis. Graph an ordered pair. Graph and label point K. So 2 and -5. So we're going to go 2 places to the right on the x-axis and then 5 places down on the y-axis, and that is point K. And now we're going to check our progress and graph ordered pairs. So L, -4 and 2. We're going to go left 4 places on the x-axis and then up 2 on the y-axis, and that is where we'll place L. M, so we'll go 5 places to the left on the x-axis and then 3 places down on the y-axis, and that is where we'll place M. N is 0, so we're going to stay put on the x-axis. We're not going to go left or right at all, and we're going to go up 1 on the y-axis. Real world example. A map can be divided into a coordinate plane where the x-coordinate represents how far to move left or right, and the y-coordinate represents how far to move up or down. What exhibit is located at 6, 5? So to figure this out, we have to move 6 places to the right on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we move up 5 on the y-axis. And we're going to end up on the Explore the Shore. In what quadrant is the shark exhibit located? So remember, we're going to start in the top right quadrant and label that quadrant 1. And then we're going to go counterclockwise. So quadrant 1 has explore the shore in it. Quadrant 2 is the one that has fur seals, think tank, and quadrant 3 has sea cliffs. So quadrant 4 has the sharks. And now find the ordered pair that represents the location of the think tank. So there could be, a couple of actual answers, because notice the think tank is more than just on one point. So we're going to go -4 and up 2, and then we put that right at where the n is in think tank and think. And I think -3, 2, -5, 2, all could have worked. What is located at the origin? So remember, the origin is 0, 0. That's if we don't go left or right on the x, and we don't go up or down on the y. And that would be the sea lion demonstration, is right there. Additional examples: write the order pair that corresponds to point R. So if we go to the left 2 places on the x, that's -2, and then up 4 on the y, and that's 4. So we have -2 and 4. What quadrant is point R in? So remember, we start in the top right quadrant, that's quadrant 1. And we go counterclockwise, so R is in quadrant 2. We're going to graph and label point M, which is the coordinates are 3 and 5. So we're going to go 3 places to the right on the x-axis and up 5 places on the y, and that's where we're going to place M. Use the map of Utah shown. In which quadrant is Vernal located? Quadrant 1. If we look at the axes that are placed just over the state of Utah, Vernal is in quadrant 1. Which of the cities labeled on the map is in quadrant 4? So remember, we're going to go counterclockwise. So Tremonton, I don't know how to say it, is in quadrant 2. Cedar City is in quadrant 3. So Bluff is in quadrant 4. All right, go to Google Classroom, and you'll have a Google form for most of the homework problems, but you will have a Google Doc that's also attached in the classroom, where you're going to do your graphing. All right, thank you very much, and have a great night.